right, hello again, and welcome back from the lab. This is Kel, and we're with Cody. And after a year-long hiatus, the lab is back. How you doing today, Cody?
I'm pretty good. A whole year's worth of updates to talk about. Although I don't know that my life is that exciting, but yeah, back after a year, we took a little break. Wasn't anticipating it to be a year, but life, it gets crazy sometimes. I think we stopped right as I was about to start prep, or like a little bit into prep, and then we just never picked it up again. We had our reasons, but anyways, Kel, what is new in life? Fill us in.
Oh my gosh, so much is new in life. But I feel like first, though, since we did leave right before your prep, you should tell our listeners about your show, because
Well,
I mean, it was a big cliffhanger if no one's followed. So, but I'm
that's
sure,
true. All three of you, if you're interested in how I did. So yeah, I competed. I think it was November 12th of 2023, and competed in men's physique. And I entered both, men's physique open and men's physique 35 plus masters division, which it's so sad that 35 plus qualifies as
so
masters.
young.
But it does. So I ended up winning the overall in the 35 plus masters division, and that was fun and unexpected. I think I froze so much. They handed me like the microphone. I didn't expect, I didn't even know that they gave like the overall like a little moment to talk, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is not this is why I do bodybuilding. I don't have to talk. But if you win, apparently you gotta be prepared. But anyways, I won the overall, and I was pretty stoked, and it qualified me for Masters Nationals, but not going just because, well, I got a new coach. We'll start with that. Otherwise, I still don't think I'd be going, but I'm just following my coach's direction. I trust. Basically, I'm just not big enough yet. Just because you qualified to go to nationals doesn't mean you should, and I don't want to just put myself through a prep to be told again, like, hey, you need more size. I know I need more size. Nationals level competition is next level. It's not just like your local show anymore. It's your local show, you come and there's about like the majority of people are not conditioned enough, or they just like it's their first time or whatever, and you go to nationals and they're there to win, and everybody is shredded. Yeah. Everyone's huge. So I don't want to be the guy at nationals looking out of place. So we're just taking time to continue to build, and that's always hard, those long off seasons with no end in sight, where you're just waiting for your coach to tell you if you're ready, and there's no end point. So I think prep is one beast on its own. It's very challenging. It's a physical, emotional challenge, but then there's the off season, and that is just it's more of an emotional, mental challenge, because it's like working towards something with no technical end goal, no time frame.
Right. Yeah. So much harder to do that, but it's all worth it, because you get to get bigger, and you always feel so strong, at least in the off season. I think that's the one, like, really the thing I love about the off season, is that you just always feel like you're as strong as an ox.
yeah, most especially, I guess my prep was it went pretty smooth until about, I think, 6 weeks out. I hit a wall pretty hard. I lost like 10 pounds in a week, which is not normal. But
yeah, that's crazy.
I was pushed pretty hard, but also, like, I don't hate that. I'll do whatever it takes. But I think there was some unnecessary pushing that wasn't needed, because towards the last 2 weeks, my cardio was cut almost completely to nothing, with just like a step goal. And I'm like, so I was pushed pretty hard, unnecessarily, I feel like, and also kind of abandoned on my competition days. So
yeah, no kidding. That was nuts.
Yeah. So, anyways, new coach. It's good. I love my new coach. She's awesome. And during prep, I ended up with like hitting a wall. I thought I was sick. I was like nauseous. There was something really off. But turns out, like I had a UTI, and I don't know how that turned into like, it was just bad enough. I think my body was just so fatigued. My immune system was shot. And so there's like a, few days where I was hardly able to like get out of bed. I couldn't really eat much. But then when I got the antibiotics in my system, things started getting better. Then I threw my back out and my knee got all swollen. I had to have that drained. So I guess that's just part of the challenge of being, I guess that's why 35 plus, counts as masters, because you're already falling apart. So like you're old for bodybuilding. So yeah, you're going to have some knee drainage and just old man problem. So I got through it though. So at least there's that. Worth it.
Yeah, but I do think it's crazy because like I know this is a little bit of a sidetrack, but the 35 being masters is crazy to me in one sense. But then I'll like see, I don't know if you saw it on, I think it was on Iron Generation maybe, that like someone who was like 76 just competed in a prep, and I'm like, that's insane. When I'm 76, yeah. I do not want to be doing this. I mean, I really want to be working out still, like well until like I'm elderly, but like to be competing and to be pushing your diet like that sounds awful.
Yeah. But at the same time, you're retired probably at that point. What else are you really doing?
That's true.
It's your full-time job. So, not the worst. You don't have as much life stressors. So you're just focused on working out and getting lean, but definitely more difficult as you're older. And your body is not as resilient, unfortunately. But hey, by the time I compete next time, I might be in 40 plus. We'll just see what happens. I hate that 40 is so close to me now. It's kind of scary. But anyways, but hey, you are now in prep. So we flip-flopped. So now we're coming back. We ended when I was starting prep, and now we're starting back when you are in prep. So yeah, how is that going? Update us on that.
So yeah, prep has started. I think we are in the middle of a week 10 I think we're in 10 and a half. We're 10 and a half weeks out from the show. Everything, knock on wood, is going, I feel like, very smoothly so far. And I don't want to jinx it, but it is going really well. I'm really stoked about the show. Show date is in September. And it's kind of fun because this is exactly the same like time period that I was prepping for my first show. So like all of my time hops are prep, but just 2 years ago. Yeah. And so it's been really fun to kind of just see how far I've come, because I'm like, I thought I was so big when I was there doing that. And I'm like, I feel, I don't know. It's just really rewarding to kind of get that delayed gratification, just because I feel like it was 2 years delayed. But now I'm feeling good. And yeah, so just chugging along with prep. Yeah,
awesome. I think I've always competed in the fall too. I think it's just because it falls. It's the easiest time. You're not hitting any holidays really. If you're competing like spring, you risk, like Christmas and stuff like that. I feel that. Yeah. There's just so many more holidays or things that are going on like winter, spring, that, it's like when you can start prepping like the middle of summer or, summer-ish, and then go through the fall, and then it's like perfect timing. Like I ended right before Thanksgiving. So I was like, yes, I can enjoy Thanksgiving. Not too much, but I can. And so, yeah, it's hard doing it outside of fall.
Well, and I think also the other thing is that in the summer, at least in Ohio, the weather is so much better. So I feel like I'm not sad already. You know what I mean? If like you start in the dead of winter, you're like already bummed, and then you're more bummed because it's prep.
Like it's more miserable because you don't have body fat to keep you warm. And yeah, at least in the summer, like your appetite's not as high because it's hot, and in the winter you want like comfort foods and stuff. So I can imagine it would be harder.
Yeah. Plus, I'm excited because fall food is my favorite. I feel like fall and like
Same.
early winter food, and so like I'm hitting the right season to be done, and yeah, I'm just really feeling very grateful so far, and very excited right now. I mean,
Awesome.
talk to me when after you cut my food some more, but
I feel like even then, there's something about prep. I think until like you get to the very last like month or so, where you're like ready for it to be over,
yeah,
but in the process, there's just some. It just makes you just have this sense of gratitude. I don't know what it is. It's like laser focus. You're just focused on, one day after another, getting, checking off all the things on the list. And it just gives you less time to worry about other things. I don't know what it is.
yeah,
I'm happier when I'm prepping. It's probably dumb, but it's a thing.
yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I've been in like a good mood this entire prep, and there's been like a lot of life stress like happening and like side by side, which I've obviously talked to you a lot about. Got a lot of stuff going on this kind of summer, but I'm not even feeling very tempted. Like I went on vacation, and I'm just like, oh well. Like I just don't care about like stuff I'm not supposed to have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, no, I'm doing prep. I want to be able to step on stage and say this was everything I had. I did the absolute
Yeah.
best I could, and that is a really freeing feeling, I think, because it like
Yeah.
gives
Do you
you
think
not an
there's a
excuse,
little
but
bit
like
of,
the permission to be
it feels
like
a little bit more
as
serious to
selfish as you
you?
want. You know what I mean?
Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
I might have interrupted or there was a
No,
delay.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Do
Go
you
ahead. Go
feel
ahead.
like do you feel like it's more serious to you since it's like an NPC show versus, the last show you did, or is that kind of a non-issue?
To me, it's a lot more serious just because I know for a fact people are gonna like, and this kind of sounds bad, but I know you'll know what I mean. Is just like you feel like you have something to prove. Like the last show that I did, everybody was like me, everybody was trans, and like, and it feels like it's a fair competition from the go. You know what I mean? Like everybody started at the same spot, and that yes, that's not true. We're making a lot of generalizations, but um, this one just feels like a big deal, and I'm
Yeah.
like it just feels like a huge deal to me. And like it has also been on my calendar, not on my calendar exactly, but on my mind to do for years, which is a lot more looking forward to than I've did for the last show. So
Yeah. Yeah, and then it's probably some sort of like maturity as well. You've had a good 2 years of, paying attention to your nutrition. You've just established all the foundations and basically just conquered them. So you're ready to go. Whereas before it was kind of new. Not to
yeah,
say that you weren't already on top of your nutrition stuff, but I feel like it's kind of a whole new world in comparison to where you were previously. You have a little bit more experience, a little bit more what to expect, uh, and you're wanting to come back even better. And I feel like when you're trying to beat yourself or beat your previous physique, then you're going to do everything you can to get to that point. But then also knowing how difficult it is and just being like, I'm not going to mess this up. It's so much hard work. Like the past 2 years and all this prep that you put in, like messing it up would be, yeah, non-optional.
exactly. And like and I'm sure you experienced something similar. It's just like you expect a lot from yourself the second time around, and
Yeah.
it is my first NPC show, so I'm still like I'm trying to have a lot of fun with it, but I just want to make sure that like I know that it was hard, and I know that I made it through it though. So I'm like, now let's step it up, and like, and it's been really nice because you are an awesome coach, and you are able to like kind of move that standard as like I get more prepared, which is really nice because it's like, nope, I'm just because I wasn't as good at prep last year doesn't mean I'm not gonna be like, I don't know, you're just I'm rambling now, but I just think you're really able to push me well, and I feel like because you know me so well, because we've been together together for so long, that like, I don't know, you know me and know how to make me work, essentially.
I think that's part of like the coaching relationship that a lot of people, if you're coach hopping a lot, then you never get a chance for that coach to really know you and your body and your personality and stuff. Of course, there's always situations where it's not a good fit and it's best to move on. But like, yeah, it is helpful that, I've known you for quite some time now. We've been working together for a really long time. And I know how I can push you. And it's not the same for everyone. There's people that have, joined on, just recently this year, and they're prepping, and I'm still feeling it out. Like, how much can I push this person? How hard can I push them without them, either crashing, getting mad, taking offense. So it's a little bit of a balancing act. But with you, I'm like, I know how I can push you. So it's fun.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And I think the other thing that's been on my mind is just like, because last time we prepped together, I was a vegetarian, and like I was really I had a lot less options, and like now I'm just like, is this so much better because it's more basic? Like, I just don't have to deal with as much, because Maddie was even making fun of me because she's like, your farts aren't even as bad this year.
That's hilarious. I mean, that's true. Like, I was a vegetarian for about 5 years, and there is nothing like a fart from a vegetarian, man. Like, they're the worst.
Vegetarian protein farts specifically, because it's like you're not getting it from the most like not a simple source, so right, so your body has to break down more. There's more shit in there to break down, and so like of course you're gonna fart more.
There's more fiber, there's more everything in there. And so when it's just animal protein, your body's like, okay, well, we can do this, we can break this down easier, and then therefore you're less stinky. But that's funny. There was a long pause in there that I couldn't hear you. So if I'm just staring out into the abyss for anyone watching, it's not that I wasn't paying attention. I was just like waiting for you to unfreeze. But all like,
I keep doing the same thing.
We keep freezing and we're like, yeah, okay. So people are gonna be like, these guys are so awkward. Do they even know each other? I'm like, we know each other so well, we can just sit there and not hear anything and know what they're saying.
Yeah, exactly. We are matching, so
that's true. We didn't even plan this, so I did spill on my shirt though, so
that's okay. Your microphone almost covers up.
I'm like, oh, there it is. So yeah, like what else is new in life since the last time we ended this podcast? I know there's a few things.
Yeah, so I don't think I was engaged last time, so I'm engaged now, which is exciting. Yeah. We're getting married in October of 2025, so we still have a long time, because I didn't want to interfere with prep. So we couldn't prep and have the wedding in the same year. So
yeah, that's fair. That would be a lot.
And then we also are
too much.
moving.
I would probably be like, no. You're not doing it.
And that's my other kind of. Oh, sorry. There was a pause delay, and I moved on.
Sorry.
And so sorry. No, that's my bad.
So yeah, let's talk about your land now.
Okay, sorry about that. So I just bought 6 acres in southern Ohio. My partner and I are going to be moving down there. Nice thing is that I'm very excited about is I'm going to have a gym on the property, because there's like a big ass shed that I have claimed as my own. So that'll be pretty exciting.
Awesome. Well, yeah, jealous of that. I'm definitely not buying any property. I'm still in the same spot. Probably will be for a while, but well, it is what it is.
I'm moving out of the city. We're moving out to the country where it's cheap and everybody leaves you alone.
Fair.
So you'll just have to come and visit sometime, and we'll work out in the barn gym, and it'll be a blast.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Yeah, I'm trying to think of, there's anything else. I mean, my life's been pretty much the same. Like I competed and then just, you know, have been working out, building. So nothing like majorly huge there. Uh, yeah. So now we're just starting up the podcast again because we figured it was time. Should we go over maybe like what we plan to do with the podcast, or should we plan to not have a plan? You know.
I think let's talk to the people. Let's see what we want to do. Do you want to start about the future, or do you want me to start?
Go for it.
All right. So I think what we were planning on doing with y'all is just kind of bringing the podcast back, keeping it a little bit more casual, having kind of doing like a little bro chat. Essentially, well, of course, we'll be covering fitness topics and other topics too. And as always, we can have people can suggest topics, but we really just want to keep this kind of as come talk to your bros about working out and life and kind of just keeping it chill.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add, or?
I think that about covers it. I think the main thing is, you know, like we're both really busy. And so, you know, the terms of bringing the podcast back, we're kind of like, let's just try not to be too serious about it. And yeah, keep it casual, conversational. And like you said, yeah, we'll cover certain topics and stuff like that. And, you know, we're bound to talk about current events. I mean, like, what the fuck is happening right now in the world? So, I mean, elections are coming up. If anything, this will definitely podcast to vent our fears, concerns, and just be like, is this actually real life right now? And what do we do from here? But yeah, I don't know.
As I run away to the woods.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Fair enough.
To stick my head in the sand. No, I'm not going to stick my head in the sand. Please don't cancel me.
But yeah, I mean, luckily I'm in California. Well, hopefully that will be safe enough. But did you happen to watch the debate? Speaking of,
I did not. I heard a lot of. I saw a lot of memes. I haven't watched the debate at all. I've been so sad that we actually have a felon running for the presidency, and he has a chance. Did you watch it?
I did. I mean, I watched parts of it. So, sorry, hold on. It was very interesting in that I can't believe that these are our two options. And I will say there was about 5 minutes or so where at least the majority of what I was seeing on the internet was some sort of unification of like, holy fuck, these are our options, whether you're on the right or the left. And so I was like, okay. So, you know, at least we're kind of, there's a little small, less divide there, but it just kind of grows as people continue to fight. So it was a short-lived, you know, unification of things. Of course, you'll have your Trumpers, diehard Trumpers that will never stop being diehard. As far as what's going on, you know, in the Biden situation, I don't even have words apparently. Neither does he. But I think it's not looking good. I don't feel comfortable with him running. I feel like this is the guy that's running our country right now. It's like, I don't want to, I'm not trying to be like, I feel like there's a certain extent, like people are very mean and they're being very ageist, but at the same time, like we do have to consider if he is fit to run. Like, I don't think I would trust him to drive, let alone like,
that's what I'm saying.
Country. Yeah. Like I wouldn't trust him to like work a retail job. Like if he was someone I was working with as a coworker,
handle money.
I'd be like, this guy needs to retire, but he's the fucking president. So he's apparently not stepping down. There's people calling for him to do so, but the problem is just like, who can we put in there? And either way, the chances, like, it's looking bad for him to be able to actually like beat Trump. And I think they're trying to figure out, like, is it more of a better chance if he stays in or if he steps down? And it's just either way, it's a hard call. We know that if we vote for if we vote for Biden, we know that we're getting the vice president as president. Like she's probably already running everything.
Have you ever watched Veep, that show on HBO with
No.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus from
No, I've
Seinfeld?
heard of it, but no.
You should give that a try.
Is she like a female president? Is that what it
She's the vice president. So
okay.
it has to be because it came out years ago, but it feels exactly how our like how the current situation is. It feels like it's telling the documentary true story of the life of Kamala Harris.
Which is kind of sad, and also like, did they like see this coming? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. You need to, but you should at least give one episode a try. They're short, and because you like Seinfeld, you'll like this. So let me know. Report back. That's your homework. But I also saw this TikTok the other day that was something along the lines of is in the first time in century, the media has claimed that Kamala Harris is young at the age of 50. In what world has the media ever called a 50-year-old woman young?
That's fair. She's like a child in comparison to the people she's got to be working with right now. So,
yeah. Have you heard the rumors? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, go for it.
No, have you heard the rumors that everybody wants Newsom now from California?
Yeah, I have heard that. I know there was like a little bit of a list of who they thought might be good, and I know like Pete Buttigieg. I can't believe it's Buttigieg. Like, can you change his last name first? Like President Buttigieg, President Buttigieg. But yeah, so he was on the list, and then Kamala Harris, obviously, and then Newsom. I think those were like the top three. And
probably Jimmy Carter because he's just right in that age. So.
Billy Graham. Oh wait, he's dead. So almost there, right there with Joe Biden. But yeah. So there's been rumors, but I worry because he doesn't have the greatest track record in California. I mean, they tried to what's it called? Impeach him as a governor. Him, right? Recall him. I was like, there's the same word, but yeah, they tried to recall him. Obviously, it didn't work. But there's definitely been some shit that people have not liked him for. So then you just kind of wonder, how well will he do in a presidential race? I don't know, and we don't really know these people actually, and how what are they like behind the scenes? Are they just complete assholes? Probably. I can see Newsom being an asshole. I think I've heard that he is an asshole. So. I don't know what the answer is. It's just like, I wish we could get to a point where we had someone who, at the bare minimum, cared about the country and like the people in the country, not just their own wallets or, what is best for their lives, power hungry. But does that even exist? Anyone who's getting into politics to be the president of the United States, you have to be on some sort of power trip or like, I don't.
Yeah, man, I don't. It all like it makes me furious because I just don't know. Like, there's not an answer. Like, no one is stepping up, and it's just sad because I feel like you shouldn't be able to make all the choices for a country when you're like older than everybody in the country. You shouldn't be making choices that aren't going to affect you because you won't be alive still, in my opinion. So it just sucks.
Yeah. I was literally thinking that because I mean, trying to say things that won't get me in trouble with my own. It's just like a lot of like Trump's base, for example, will just be a little general, is on the older side. So maybe if someone's, let's say, in their 80s and they're voting for Trump, I feel like they're just voting for a future they're not going to be there for. And they aren't listening because they're just concerned about their own money, their funds, their, whatever they're going to get out of it in the next 4 years. And then who knows what, but they're not thinking of the impact it's going to have on, their own adult children or, the generations behind them. And that's definitely frustrating. And especially to think that we could potentially be going so far backwards. I don't know if you heard everyone kind of worrying about Project 225. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard a bit about that like a while back, but it's hard to know, honestly, what is fear mongering or like things being blown out of proportion. Because I know there's a lot of that. It's like a virus that spreads, right? We don't know the actual facts of, yeah, this is something that is in place that is going to actually happen versus something that's being like, thrown around to make people more afraid or cause panic. And I know there was a lot of panic in 2016, when Trump was elected, and that kind of took a while to kind of like calm down. And I feel like even more worrisome though this time due to the Supreme Court situation. Like he has way more power and control the second time around. So that's definitely scary. And all these things in, Project 225, of course it could be real. It could be, it could happen. It could be something that they're looking to actually enforce, or it could be, something that's big, blown out of proportion that might not happen, but it sucks that we even have to wonder and be like, well, let's find out.
Yeah, I know, right? And yeah, and I've also noticed that like a lot of people have been, at least a lot of social media people have been like, what's your backup plan? What's your plan if the thing shit hits the fan? And I know people come up with these plans already, like all the time when big elections are happening, when big decisions are happening. But I've noticed a big uptick already in like that kind of content being pushed out and people talking about like getting their things in line so that they can leave if they need to. And it's nutty to me. I mean,
Yeah.
to everybody their own, and I understand the knee jerk reaction for sure, but scary
Yeah.
still.
I think definitely there was moments after the debate, because I was watching it on YouTube. It was streaming on CNN, and there was the after debate talk with all the CNN hosts, and even they like this was CNN, and they were like, "This is not good." They were just like they felt lied to by the Biden administration that he was, cognitively all there, and they couldn't even like put a front on. They were just as shocked as the rest of America, being like, "This is bad. There's something wrong. He definitely did not win that debate. Like, they need to figure out someone to put in." Like, instantly, they're just like, he needs to step down. And to have that happen on CNN right after a debate, that's cause for concern. Like, I'm an anxious person. I remember texting Des and being like, my dad was born in England. Can we move to England? Like, maybe that's a possibility. Like, wait, I've got uncles in Canada, so let's where can we go? But it was definitely a lot to digest right away, and it still is, and there's still so much in the air, or up in the air, and November is just going to be a scary month with uncertainty, fun.
And it was, and this, we can kind of move to switch to a happier topic after this, but I also thought it was crazy because after seeing all the clips from the debate and hearing you talk about it, it's crazy to me that not only is he performing so bad in the debate, but like this guy is currently running the country. Like our enemies are seeing this, or not to, and I'm not trying to say like in general, like everybody, the whole world is seeing this is who we trust and who is actually in charge, and that is it. And I'm like, ooh, that's not a good look.
No, like, and then at one point, they were talking about golf, and it was just the weirdest debate you could ever watch. And there, as much as you hate Trump, I mean, there was some comic relief at points when Biden literally, I don't know what the fuck he said. I don't know if he, and then Trump was like, I don't know what he said at the end there. I don't think he does either. I was just like, fuck, man, this is awful. Like Trump was right about that right there for sure. But it's hard because in their own way, they're both just crazy. They're both not cognitively there. Like Trump is a narcissist and is delusional of what reality is, and he can't like he just lies, but he believes them because that's like his reality. Whereas like Biden is just unfortunately declining, and it's just not a safe situation. People are like, it's a security, it's a security threat to even have him as president right now. And like you said, like our allies are watching, and our enemies, and everyone. Like this is embarrassing. Like this is,
it's so
this is like
embarrassing.
it's just like other people watching your family feud, and just be like, don't look, just close your eyes.
Crazy.
Yeah. Anyways, I guess we can move on from that, but definitely something that's been heavily weighing through a lot of people's minds, I'm sure. Unless you're a Trump fan, then you're probably like stoked right now. I don't know, but I don't know why you'd be listening to us, but
probably probably not. But yeah, it craziness. But let's talk about something else. Fuck politics. That sucks. How's the gym feeling? Are you feeling good in the gym nowadays?
Yeah, I've had some shoulder issues, but luckily still have been able to like escape surgery on that front. Just been getting kind of cortisone shots like every 3 to 4 months or so. Still doesn't feel quite right. I know eventually I'll probably need to have something surgically done, but I'm just hoping it's not for a second. But I am gonna have surgery on my graft arm because since I'm not competing this year, and it should be not the longest. It's not as long as the recovery as I was thinking. As long as he's not, just lying to me to get me to do it. But essentially, it's just getting tighter and tighter from the graft, and it's not comfortable. So I'm gonna go for it. So August 5th, going under the knife, which will be the first time in like 5 years. So I had a good few years I was in and out of surgery like every other month, and then I went 5 years without it, and there we go again. It feels weird. So I just hope the recovery is not too bad. I just figure I'm not competing. It's either now or never, because I don't want it to just keep getting worse. And apparently if I just don't fix it, there's a chance for there to be like permanent hand swelling and like other things. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll actually do something, since I might actually be doing damage to it.
Well, and I'm sure it'll feel better too. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah, hopefully. And it's also inducing blood flow restriction training on my left arm. So like my forearm, my bicep, and my tricep are actually bigger on my left arm than my right. I'm like, we cannot have that. We got to be symmetrical. So that was a bigger motivator to just get it done. And then while I'm recovering, I'll just keep working out my right arm, because I'm like, hey, it's smaller. So I'm just balancing it out.
It works out perfect.
But
have you been watching any of the bodybuilding shows, keeping up with any of the pros?
Like not as much as I normally have. I've kind of put my head in a hole for a bit, like with all the body. Like I'll keep up with it to a certain extent. I've just now started watching, bodybuilding content and stuff again. I think I was trying not to get in my head about it, because I think a lot of times, especially with not competing this year, I feel like I'm missing out. So I'm like, okay, we'll just turn it off, and then I won't feel that way. Or I'll feel behind or something along those lines. Or I just wasn't having a healthy, I was like a unhealthy comparison situation that was happening. So I'll just kind of tune it out. But yeah, I'm watching it a little bit more now, but I haven't been following super duper closely. But how about you?
I've been watching a little bit. There's a one pro who goes to my gym currently, and she's competing in the Chicago Pro. So I kind of been um, watching the Chicago Pro stuff and
Nice.
keeping up with that a little bit, but no, not a ton. I've been really into Survivor. It's very embarrassing, but that's what I've been watching mostly, and that's like getting my competition fix.
Well, that's awesome.
It's I think I'm in season 41 right now,
Damn.
which is a lot of work. Well, no. It's a lot of work to watch that much. Um, but it's kind of nice now because I'm like, well, those people are starving and they have even less food than me. So
I mean, that's a good show to watch when you're also hungry because you're like, these people, yeah, they know how it feels. Only you don't have
except
to like go
they get
hunting for
reward
it.
challenges.
No,
They get
that's
reward
fair.
challenges though, and that's the one trick. But that's okay.
No,
I'm doing
no.
all right with cravings.
At least you have a reward, at the end of
At
all the
end.
things. So hopefully
Yes.
that pays off. And if you ever, end up on Survivor, you'd probably do well.
I don't think I would do well on Survivor, but I think Maddie would do really well. Do you think would you ever do Survivor?
No, no. Like, I'm too bougie for that shit. I would not survive in the wilds. I am very domesticated. Like, I need my internet
That's hilarious.
and my morning routine.
Yeah, that's fair. I just don't think I think I'm too awkward to be in Survivor because it's all social, like it's a social game. But I do think the challenges look like a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
I think those would be fun to do.
I could probably do
Were you
pretty
into
well.
reality?
I
Oh, sorry.
was. I was just like, I could probably do pretty well on The Biggest Loser. No, I'm just kidding. I think, yeah, I used to be into reality TV. I watched Survivor a little bit. Definitely watched a lot of Biggest Loser. I know that's controversial in of itself. But I used to watch a lot of Bravo shows.
Okay. Wow.
Didn't know I was gay at
I
all.
love the
So,
competition shows, but I was never into the Bravo shows.
nah, well, you're missing out. Just kidding. There was this show on Bravo called Workout. And sorry, we're delayed talking over each other.
No, go ahead.
There's this show on Bravo called Workout, and there's personal trainer. This is how I decided I wanted to do personal training. Her name was Jackie Warner. Do you know who she is? Do you remember her at all?
Her. Yeah.
Okay, so she had her own show, and I used to love watching that. And I was like, oh, she's so cool. Like, I want to be like her, or whatever.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked her up? Sorry.
No, I'm gonna look her up right now. Though.
She's not doing so well, I don't think. But yeah, I don't know how I came across it one day. I don't know if I came across her profile or something. But I think she's got some beef with like Jillian Michaels or something. It's just, I don't know if it's like personal trainer beef or like lesbians in Hollywood beef. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know why I decided to come up with that. But she seems very, like, if you look at her Instagram page for DUI or something, right? I think she just got heavily into drinking, unfortunately. And she's very gimmicky with her. She would never make it as an online trainer these days because people just smell the bullshit. And it's weird because back then she looks like a plethora of knowledge and like she's, gonna just help people and she's doing great. But when you are a personal trainer and you look on her content now, you're like, she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. It's bad. And so I'm just like, this is how people like get caught up in bullshit because there's these figures that are so confident in what they're saying. So it's kind of a good thing that the fitness space is so saturated now. At least there's some more, correct information going around. There's not just like one source of wrong information, at least. I don't know, but yeah, random.
Random, but that's
sorry, Jackie.
I've been
still
watching
love you.
a lot of. Yeah, she's just had hard times. Maybe she'll make a swing back. Who knows?
Maybe.
But yeah, I've been watching that, and then I watched the MTV challenges, which are like Survivor meets Jersey Shore, kind of. Um, they do chat like road rules kind of thing, but there's a ton of fitness trainers in that one because they're just reality stars.
Yeah, that's funny. Did you ever watch Real World growing up?
Fuck yeah, that's who the challenge draws from. Is the Real World is like old Real World contestants compete in the challenge.
That's awesome. I would never make it in Real World. Like fuck that shit.
No. But I loved it when I was in high school or whatever.
Oh yeah, same. Drama, right? It was good.
So much drama. Drama and drinking. That's all they did.
Yes. Oh man. But anyways, I guess we should probably wrap this up. I do have a call to get to, but I guess probably be a little bit more organized than our next podcast. But
just gotta welcome people back.
Yeah, exactly. So just want to get the first one, under our belts and let y'all know we're here, and we'll be coming with more content, and any suggestions, of course, too, are always welcome. So suggest away.
Absolutely. Yes. Right. Drop it to us, DM us anyway. But until then, we wish everybody well.
See you next time.
See you next time.